when somebody bids something, it's the first time they've ever done it, it's the first time they've ever bid it, it's the first time they'll ever build it, and they'll never do it again. That's the mentality. So they have to make all their money on the one time, and then they have to cover all their contingencies. Now, a different version of that could be, oh, this is the XYZ model. We've done that 15 times. We know exactly what it costs, exactly how much material we need and man hours that we need. And it's always this price, give or take whatever sort of change in commodities exist or labor rates. That you could actually predict what you're going to do, predict your cost, and do more repetitions, have less errors and less failures, and ultimately run a better business. I mean, that's another version of this, and I think you guys are experiencing that when we ask our contractors to do something different versus even when you ask them to do the thing that they normally do. You know, having a meeting where you're like, you know, Habitat does these designs over and over and over again. I mean, you guys are used to that, and so when you get a bid in from somebody and you say, oh, we normally get a bid for somewhere between, you know, $9,000 and $13,000, based on, you know, that's a way different knowledge base than most contractors have. But even in that world, why is it a $4,000 swing? Right? That's 25% of the cost of that. Why are we swinging that much if they're doing the exact same thing? Making some assumptions that they're doing the exact same thing, but right, like versus if we built the same thing every single time, we should know within a very small margin what it should cost. And we should start thinking about ideas that we're not just doing a single source envelope contractor, but maybe we're talking more of a consolidated team of total trades delivering a house all the way through for 100 units. Because if you have the same excavator and concrete and electrician and envelope contractor and finishers and all that, doing every house exactly the same all the way through, now there's a completely different set of efficiencies that we're talking about and a completely different set of cost controls that we have in front of us. So when we talk about design, those are some of the things that we're talking about. We're trying to figure out how to engineer out a lot of the time and thinking that goes into houses.
Take a break now.
Give me through step 3. And we're also trying to, like Pat said, we're paying HVAC contractors to come out and design the system on site. But we're paying the electrician to come out and design the electrical layout on site. And we're paying the plumber to design a plumbing layout on site. Versus another industry that we could pull from, let's say the RV industry, where every single component is pre-measured, pre-cut, pre-count, right? And it's just a matter of placing the box exactly where it goes and quick fitting pieces together, not cutting and stripping wires and wiring out a whole thing from the beginning. So if we can design out a lot of the thinking and a lot of the measuring and a lot of the plan reading, and it's just assembly, and we're assembling the same thing over and over again, you can move really quickly through that. Do you have a question?
Well, you started kind of answering my question, I think, when you were talking about the electrical, but when you're talking about a single source envelope contractor versus all the separate subs that are doing the individual components, are you talking about this being a construction system where some of those individual trade partners would completely go away, or they would just work together and coordinate and radically alter how they're putting the components together, or do some of them disappear? Because I'm thinking of potential job loss as being maybe a barrier or an impediment to this.
Yeah, well, that's a common question I get, a common response. And so the answer is it's both. It would be existing trades working together in different ways or changing the way that they do their current job. It would be some trades going away, and it would also be new trades emerging, right? And I think a lot of the concern about jobs going away, I think sort of goes back to, let's say, plaster and lath, for instance. When JIP came around, plaster and lath basically was decimated. But then a whole new set of jobs showed up, right? And I think we think about only so far into the future. Well, how's this going to affect me now? But we got to start thinking about the longer picture, and if we can take a house that takes 3 trades instead of 12, right? Well, those 3 trades probably don't exist, and those 12 trades can consolidate. But at the end of the day, we've been doing that for 300 years in this country, right? We've been consolidating the way we've been doing things, and we've been changing the way we've been doing things. So that's a difficult discussion to have with folks that particularly coming from the labor side of the industry, because it seems threatening, but the reality is that we're providing the next step, right? I mean, if we can do this house quicker, you don't have as much work to do on that house, but now you can have more houses to do, right? It's just evolution. So then this goes to number 2, like I said, single source envelope contractor. We've sort of talked about that. So part of what Monopath is doing is trying to create, through the design, the ability to train and educate and design houses that a single trade can put together that envelope, right? If you think about how we build houses, stick frame and insulate, a stick frame carpenter company, contractor with a spray foam contractor, with a roofing contractor and siding contractor, you're not going to get one crew of folks that know how to do all those trades really well. But when you change the way you put the house together, use different building components and different materials and different techniques, you can actually look out and already find there's one trade contractor out there that really resembles the envelope contractor. It's the exterior contractor, right? They're already doing roofing, siding, and windows. There are a lot of those folks out there. So then to have them take the membrane on and the exterior insulation is a pretty similar skill set to what they're already doing. The panels is what changes everything, because now you don't have to have carpentry experience, you just have to have assembly experience, right? And that can be learned in a very short period of time. And then the last thing is specialized building components and materials. So, of course, when I say what is Monopath, these 3 things, this is the direction that we're heading. This is what we're trying to get to, so that we can provide the resources through the design, the resources through the training, and the resources through the products that are specialized to the system that then can enable builders and developers to actually execute the build. Want to take a break?
Coffee's here, and there's water and some nut bars over there, and so take what, 10?
Yeah.
Help yourself. Bathrooms are right to the right there across the hall. And I got that